Welcome to the Marketing Combat Podcast. My name is Jason Donnelly, and today we have one of the most exciting topics that you have ever heard. I want this guy right there with the scary, is that hang loose or horns? Hang loose. Horns? Hang loose. Who knows? Either way, let me introduce my co-host and friend, Mr. Chris Kubbco. Tell us what we're fighting about today, buddy.
What's up? Thanks, Jason. We are fighting about a very hot topic within the world today. Is AI making us lazy?
I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous to know what you pick.
Why? I took the hard road the last couple episodes, so I'm going to take the easy road this time and say, yes, AI is making us lazy. And I'll tell you why I think it's making us lazy. I'll give you a real world. My son is in school. Not high level. I guess he's joining high school next year, but he's in elementary school, I guess as we call it in North America. We're in Denmark, so it's a bit of a different system. And he was just recently doing a group project, and some of the people on the group clearly had used AI to make their part. And my son was frustrated by that, because he basically said, it's clear that they're using ChatGPT for this part, and it's not good. It's basically just, they did their work in about 3 seconds, and they popped it in, and they moved on, and they didn't take the time. Even he understands it. He's 14 years old. He didn't take the time to process the information, to understand the information, to provide context, to take out the parts that they thought weren't that interesting. They just copied and pasted. And you could argue, could they do that from the internet? Probably. Maybe it would have taken a little bit more search, a little bit more digging, but it essentially made them lazy. And he just thought that they were there to just get it done versus actually learning about the topic and actually digesting it and figuring out what did they want. Instead, they just said, AI can put this in and we're done. Now we can go back to playing on our fucking video games. Sorry, I'm swearing, but that's exactly what they did. They got it from ChatGPT. Then they just went to their phone and just started, playing whatever Roblox game. And it frustrated him, and I can see why. And I think that's what's happening a lot in society today. We are not taking in the information and learning it, processing it, putting our own critical thinking on it. We are just wholeheartedly taking information from an AI and saying, okay, yep, this is it. Let's put it in. Done. I'm done. Check mark. Done. Move on to the next, move on to the next, move on to the next. And I think that's detrimental. And I think it's going to make us, lazy, mindless zombies that won't actually learn anything, won't actually produce anything of value, of substance. It will all just be AI substance. Sounds the same, not interesting. And I'm worried about that. Jason, tell us why it's not making us lazy.
Thank you, Chris. Just like the college podcast that we did a few days ago, I think it's all dependent on how it's used. So I think AI is not even artificial intelligence yet. I think it's more of super fast Googling with putting words where they most likely should be next. I don't think it's like actual artificial intelligence learning. But if kids are taking it and looking up the information and putting it through ChatGPT and getting it pushed out to them and then reading it and taking in the knowledge and learning and really digesting it, and then their teachers ask them to present that to the class verbally, not just reading from a piece of paper, so that it shows that they learned it. They can get that information in a new, exciting way that they can literally prompt the way that they want to learn to speed things up. So I think that AI, or whatever you want to call ChatGPT and all these, isn't making society lazy. It's making society have an opportunity to use them as a tool to learn faster, to get more information faster, to create faster, and move to the next thing. So you're going to be able to do more things more. That's a weird way of saying it. You're going to be able to do more things faster, but it's all dependent.
That's going to be Jason's tagline now. Do more things more.
It's basically Monster Energy Drink, our sponsor today. Do Monster Energy Drink so that you can do things faster. But yeah, I think it's more all dependent on the person. If it's like your kid's friends who went in and said, give me this answer, and then handed it in like it was their own, yeah, they're lazy. But maybe your son used ChatGPT and got information and then digested it, used that information, built their own case, built their own thought process, really built something out and brought it to their heart, brought it to their brain and learned it. I think it's amazing, because then you don't have to go and find each single piece and hope that you find it within hours. You can find it in seconds and then take the time to really learn it. So it's all dependent on the person. Yes, there are a lot of people out there that are just being lazy and taking the information and running, but there are also a lot of people out there that are taking the information and really building something special with it. So I think it's all dependent. So yeah, I agree that there are a lot of lazy people out there, but hopefully more than less actually learn. What do you think of that?
I think you're right. But I think there's also a case of like back in the day, they made us change stuff just to avoid plagiarism. And I think like that's where things are different now. I think now like with an AI, you don't feel like you're being plagiarist. So you're just taking things wholeheartedly versus back in the day, like when you had to put something together for an essay or a presentation, you were responsible for actually citing where you got it and then also changing a few words. And you could argue like, is that actual learning or is that, whatever that is? So I'm even though I'm saying like AI is making us lazy, I think you're absolutely like, I could add a little thing here, like rebuttal, but not a rebuttal, an agreement. I think it also comes down to the people, like you said, what is the context? Who is doing it? Because there's always going to be lazy people. I mean, that's just fact of life. And it's up to us to weed that out and call it out. And be like, as lazy, you get an F or a B or a C plus. You get a C or a D on this project because you were lazy. And praise the effort, not just the output, but also praise the effort of trying to do something, changing it, looking at it, using ChatGPT or using any AI in a light that allows you to do more. Because you're right, you could focus on the presentation just being so incredibly kick-ass and interactive because you've already got the data, it's been condensed. Now you can focus on the packaging. Now you can focus on like the passionate, delivery of that presentation. I think that's where learning and schooling and leaders in our communities have to push forward. Yes, you can use ChatGPT. Yes, you can like slim down your research, but you need to put that effort then somewhere else. You need to put that effort in really understanding the context here. But let us know in the comments.
Everyone who's listening, all of you, hundreds of you, geez, so many downloads. Tell us what you thought of this podcast. Who do you think is right? Is Chris right, telling us that everyone's lazy? Or is Jason right? And it's not making us lazy, it's making us smarter, quicker. Tell us. We would like to know. I don't think you have it in you, but we'll see. See you next time.